When we think of the Great Pyramids, we immediately picture the iconic trio at Giza, Khufu Khafre, and Menkaure. But what if I told you there was a fourth Great Pyramid, a lost wonder that once rivaled its famous neighbors, built by a pharaoh who was wrongly vilified for centuries? This is the story of the Pyramid of Djedefre, and it's a tale that will completely change how you see ancient Egypt. For a long time, historians painted a dark picture of Pharaoh Djedefre. He was the son of Khufu, the legendary builder of the Great Pyramid. The popular story went that Djedefre was a ruthless tyrant. He was accused of murdering his own elder brother, Kawab, to seize the throne. Consumed by guilt and paranoia, he supposedly abandoned the sacred grounds of Giza, fleeing to a desolate, remote hilltop at Abu Rawash to build his own pyramid, far from his family's monumental legacy. It was a narrative of betrayal, ambition, and a king on the run. But as with so much of history, the truth is far more complex and fascinating. In recent decades, archaeologists have been piecing together a completely different story, one that rehabilitates Djedefre's reputation. The evidence now suggests he wasn't a villain at all. In fact, he appears to have been a devoted son and brother. Instead of usurping the throne, it's more likely that his brother Kawab died naturally, and Djedefre took over his royal duties. Far from abandoning his father, Djedefre was the one who completed Khufu's burial ceremonies. We have proof he provided the beautiful funerary boats found at the base of the Great Pyramid, an act of filial piety, not disrespect. So why did he move his pyramid project 8 kilometers north to Abu Rawash? The answer wasn't fear, it was faith. Djedefre's move was a calculated religious and political statement. Abu Rawash is located on a direct line between the Giza Plateau and the ancient city of Heliopolis, the city of the sun. This was the most important religious center in ancient Egypt, the heart of the cult of the sun god, Ra. Djedefre wasn't running away from his father's legacy. He was aligning himself with the most powerful deity in the land. This move was part of a profound religious shift he initiated. Djedefre was the very first pharaoh to incorporate the title, Sri, which means son of Ra, into his official royal titulary. This was a monumental change in Egyptian ideology. Before him, pharaohs were often seen as incarnations of the god Horus, making them divine beings on earth. By calling himself the son of Ra, Djedefre was subtly repositioning the role of the king. He was no longer just a god, but the divine heir and representative of the supreme creator god, Ra. This set a precedent that would be followed by every pharaoh for the next 1,000 years. His pyramid at Abu Rawash, closer to the city of the sun, was a physical manifestation of this new devotion. Now, let's talk about the pyramid itself, because this is where it gets truly brilliant. Djedefre knew he couldn't outbuild his father's Great Pyramid in sheer volume. So, he used a clever bit of landscape engineering to create an optical illusion. He chose to build his pyramid on top of a natural promontory, a hill that was already 120 meters high. His pyramid's original height was about 67 meters. When you do the math, the peak of his pyramid would have reached a total elevation of nearly 190 meters above the Nile Valley. In contrast, Khufu's Great Pyramid, though much taller at 146 meters, was built on a lower plateau. This means that from a distance, Djedefre's pyramid would have appeared to be the tallest structure on the horizon, a shining beacon that literally towered over Giza. It was a masterstroke of visual propaganda. The materials he used also tell a story of immense wealth and power, completely contradicting the idea of a troubled reign. The lower 20 courses of the pyramid's outer casing were made not from the typical Torah limestone used at Giza, but from polished red granite. This granite had to be quarried in Aswan, over 800 kilometers to the south, and transported up the Nile on barges. Red granite is significantly harder and more difficult to work with than limestone. Using it on such a massive scale for the pyramid's exterior was an unprecedented display of resources and technical skill. It would have shimmered in the sunlight, giving the pyramid a stunning, reddish glow. This wasn't the work of a king in decline. It was the project of a powerful and prosperous ruler, making a bold statement. So if this pyramid was so grand, why is it now just a pile of ruins? Why isn't it as famous as the Giza Trio? The answer lies in its tragic, later history. The very thing that made its location strategic in ancient times, its isolation also led to its downfall. For centuries, after the fall of the New Kingdom, and especially during the Roman period, Djedefre's pyramid was treated as a convenient, unguarded quarry. Its remote location meant that builders could easily come and strip its beautiful, high-quality stones without anyone stopping them. The polished red granite and fine limestone were carted away to be used in new construction projects across Egypt. What we see today isn't the result of a shoddy construction or a king's failure, but the systematic dismantling of a masterpiece over 2,000 years. What remains at Abu Rawash is the ghost of a pyramid. We can see the deep trench cut into the bedrock that formed the descending passage and the burial chamber. We can see the scattered remnants of the red granite casing blocks. Archaeologists have also unearthed parts of Djedefre's mortuary temple and causeway, along with some of the most beautiful royal statues ever discovered from the Old Kingdom, including what is believed to be the head of the oldest Egyptian sphinx. The story of Djedefre and his lost pyramid is a powerful reminder that history is not always what it seems. It's a tale of a pharaoh rescued from slander, an innovator who reshaped royal ideology, and an architectural genius who used the landscape itself to build his legacy. The fourth pyramid may be in ruins, but its story, once buried under centuries of misinformation, now shines as brightly as its polished granite once did. It stands as a testament to a visionary king who dared to be different, and whose true legacy is finally, after 4,500 years, being brought back into the light. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into ancient Egypt. If you found this story as amazing as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more hidden histories. Let me know in the comments what you think. Was Djedefre a genius, or was he just trying to one-up his dad? See you in the next video.